Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. Today I'm here for our weekly safety talk, Toolbox talk, and as I mentioned last week, today I'm going to follow up on that talk about glove safety with more in-depth discussion of hand safety. So I mentioned last week that you would be entered into a drawing if you would send me ideas for how we could be safer on the job site in terms of hand safety. Well, I don't have to do a drawing because I only had one participant. So you guys have got to start participating in these activities so that not only can you be entered in these drawings, but so that when you practice and you think through these ideas and these techniques, you are implementing them in your own way and in a way that you can remember them whenever you are working through these jobs and tasks. So the one participant that I had was Fred. And Fred, thank you very much for your participation and your ideas. You actually touched on a couple of the points that I was going to talk about today, which are being aware of the hazards that you may encounter on the job site and using the correct glove and fit for the job. So just to go over a few of those things, some of the hazards you may encounter on the job site are missing guards on the machines that you're working on. So be sure you check for them that they have their guards in place so that you don't accidentally cut your hand. Be sure you're checking for pinch points, sharp or abrasive edges, so that you're not cutting or hurting yourself in that way. Hot work, you have to be aware of the work you're doing when you're welding or any other hot work that you may be doing. Vibrations, equipment with the potential to injure you, such as a grinder or a saw. Be very careful whenever you are using those items. Electric shock. Make sure that you're following the lockout tagout procedures. I know that's a totally different talk, but make sure that whenever you are working on electrical equipment, you are testing and verifying that the equipment is de-energized before you begin work. And chemicals. I know you all may not work with a lot of chemicals, but it is very important that you check the MSDS sheet if you are not familiar with the chemical. There is an MSDS sheet, or should be, for every chemical that you encounter. And so make sure that you ask the appropriate person, whether it be me or Greg or whoever it is on the job site that you're working, for that sheet so that you can familiarize yourself with what you need before you begin that work. Okay? So just a couple of prevention techniques to follow. Number one, be sure you're wearing the correct gloves and fit. I've provided a detailed sheet that explains what gloves should be used for each job. So please review that and be aware of what job you need to be using. If you start a new type of work, make sure you check that sheet. You can keep it in your email and review it and go back to it whenever you need to so that you know what gloves you need to use for that job. Be proactive. Think about the hazards that you might encounter before you start that job and throughout that job, okay? And make sure you're checking your hand placement. Check the placement of your hands in any type of work you do. Be sure you're not going to accidentally hit your hand on a sharp edge or get pinched or scratch yourself on an abrasive surface or any other way that you could injure your hand. Be sure that you are checking your hand placement. Okay, guys? We just want you all to be safe. We want you to go home safe. We don't want anything to happen to you all, so that you can be healthy and happy and go home to your family the same way that you came in every day. Okay? So be sure you check your hand placement, be proactive, and wear the correct gloves. If you all have any questions or if you need anything from me, please don't hesitate to give me a call or stop by my office. And make sure that you all email me once you have reviewed this topic so that I can get a signature for you all saying that you did. Okay? Thank you guys for all your hard work. Thank you for your participation, and you all have a great day on the job.